For the sake of names, this is episode 1 of Namesake, the series where I explain the names that every Austin, Texas resident has seen and said 100 times, but never thought to question. Today, bee caves. Where did bee caves get its name? Well, there's multiple origin stories. One story goes that when settlers first arrived in bee caves, they found a massive colony of Mexican honeybees nested on a rocky cliff along Little Barton Creek. Another story says that in the early 1870s, a man named Carl Beck opened a general store at the intersection of Highway 71 and Hamilton Pool Road. On his store hung a beehive that grew bigger and bigger until it was known as the cave-sized beehive. You can fill in the rest. The third story is my favorite because it's the most biblically proportioned and awe-inspiring. It says that settlers found a group of beehives so large that a man could fit inside each one, just like a cave, a bee cave. The Bee Cave Sculpture Park just behind the Hill Country Galleria hosts an installation depicting what these hives might have looked like, and it even includes a little plaque to explain that. I love this one because I imagine what it would be like for the first people who actually discovered it. A normal hive can buzz at about 90 decibels. That's the sound of a motorcycle passing by. When thousands of bees swarm, it gets even louder. Now, imagine that, but on the massive scale described by the bee cave legend. The sound alone would have been unbearable. It's straight out of the Old Testament. It's the final boss of Beekeeping Simulator, and the honey badger can no longer afford to be so nonchalant. Now, each of these stories has some issues. First off, bees don't like to build nests on rocky surfaces. And one local entomologist said they've never heard of Mexican honeybees, only Mexican honey wasps. Bee caves might need a name change. Another issue is just my personal opinion, but tourists calling a beehive a bee cave seems like a bit of a stretch, maybe a marketing ploy, I'm not sure. And the last one is just unreal. I mean, standalone beehives never get that big. So where did the name originate? We at least know it was from some kind of bee or wasp colony in the area. But other than that, it's really left up to you. Was the name from Barton Creek's cliffside wasps, a roadside storefront porch, or a hive big enough to cause hearing damage? I personally think the Barton Creek honey wasps are the most realistic, but I'd rather believe in the boss fight hive, the giant one. It's just such a cool piece of local folklore, and that's why I started this channel, to share the locals and legends that make my community worth bragging about.